The following program is rated PG and may contain mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
The Super Channel Heart and Home After Show with special guests Kevin McGarry, Deanna Leacock, Amanda Wong, and now the host of the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show, Elliott Wallach.
Thanks for tuning in to the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show. You just watched episode 9 of Calls the Heart. Intrigue abounds. Kevin McGarry's here to help walk us through it because living in Hope Valley is thirsty work. Let's take a look.
The same company that turned Eagle Creek into a desert is now buying up water rights in Rock Creek. They've tricked the farmers and now they're starting to fight back.
It's called Union City Holdings.
Wait a second. UCH. Union City Holdings.
Do you know it?
Yeah, I think I do.
The trestle bridge.
Yeah, this is a delivery map. I've been supplying lumber to these points here.
I don't think these are trestle bridges.
I don't think so either.
Why are they here and not here?
It's because they're not bridges.
That's what Rosemary said.
They're aqueducts.
They're stealing the water from Eagle Creek and Rock Creek.
And sending it to Union City.
Bernhard Montague is the head of Union City Holdings.
You know, that scene, there's so many of it, there's 5 of us in it, and everybody's like, you know, clipping together these little lines to make the bigger picture of what's going on. That was so much more difficult to shoot, and I didn't think it was gonna work as well as it did, actually. I was like, oh, that works pretty good with all of them kind of coming together and figuring things out, because it was not like that on the day. It was kind of all over the place.
Because difficult, but just because the logistics?
And also, like, you know, the cadence and the timing and the rhythm of delivering all that stuff to make it sense. It's essentially, you know, like a monologue that they just kind of split up and gave everybody, you know, and it's that, you know, trope in TV where, you know, what you'd be thinking you're saying out loud, you know, and they're all kind of saying it out loud, like, oh, because this, and then this, and then this, and this. Right. So it felt far-fetched and discombobulated, but that actually worked really well. Yeah. Similar to the plot in Chinatown, for any film buffs out there.
Really?
Yes, I guess you're not.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
But they're stealing the water from the little hamlet of Hope Valley.
Yeah. Trouble in Hope Valley.
Trouble in Hope Valley. Well, is it in Hope Valley or is it outside in the woods?
Yeah, trouble outside Hope Valley.
In the tri-state area of Hope Valley.
Yeah, outside the hamlet.
Outside the hamlet. We used that last time, didn't we? Yeah. Yes, yeah.
We had a whole conversation about it.
Yeah, you're right, we did. Outside the hamlet of Hope Valley, there is trouble brewing in the field with these Pinkertons.
Let's take a look at it.
Let's take a look and then we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Come on, you're not gonna shoot me, are you? I just got this uniform cleaned.
What's gonna happen?
Yeah, why do you think he offered himself up?
Why did Nathan offer himself up? Because he's a hero. You know, you got to get that hostage out of there, and then he's got a quick move that he does in the cabin. You'll see later. Yeah. But yeah, you know, selfless, heroic, the greatest thing in Hope Valley. I mean, these are just words that come to my mind.
Right, just off the top of your head.
Why he's going in there? Yeah.
Right. That little stunt they did, is that a stunt performer who does that, or do you know?
That was the director. That was, for some reason they wanted. No, that was yes, that was a stunt person that got kicked down the stairs.
I mean, because it looked like it could hurt. I mean, he actually rolled down the stairs.
He did his job.
He did.
Yeah.
Things escalate pretty quickly, actually, in this scene. There's shots fired, and word gets back to Hope Valley, and Elizabeth gets really upset about it. Why do you think she's so upset when she realizes that Nathan is in danger?
Is in danger? Well, I think, always afraid that she's going to lose him is the first thing, I think triggered probably back to some stuff that she had with her first husband, Jack. But, it's a dangerous position to be a Mountie. You got to put yourself in the line of danger. She's just always aware of what that job, more aware, I guess, than anybody in the town of what that job entails. So she knows that he could not come back one day. So I guess, there's relief when he comes, and also fear that, maybe one day he won't come back.
Elizabeth? What is it?
There's a standoff in Rock Creek with a farmer. A constable was taken hostage. Nathan got this telegram this morning and went out there. Henry, they say shots were fired.
He's cool-headed. I'm sure he'll be fine.
I can't do this again. Not again.
Nathan's back! Morris, Nathan's back!
What do you think about this storyline? I mean, this is a pretty high-stakes storyline because water goes, town goes.
Well, that's it. And I think it's, throughout the episodes, there's been hints kind of with the bandit, Harry Styles, I think is his last name. The bandit Harry Styles. When we catch him and then he ends up working for the mercantile, we find out that his town was already depleted from its water source. They had already dried up out there. So coming to get Hope Valley now. So we all got to come together to stop this.
Can you give us any clues? I know you can't give anything away of how they're going to solve this.
If we stop him or not?
Are they going to? Yeah, I guess you can't tell us.
Are we on a train track right now?
No.
There is.
That's
so
really
we can say we're on set right now, right? And there's
That's
a live
quiet.
train happening behind us right now.
It's quite loud.
Yeah, that's why they got the land so cheap. They built right beside an air. There's also an airstrip here as well.
That's true.
So at any time we could hear a plane. What was the question? We've gotten off topic.
Yeah. No, just that it's a great storyline, and we're curious to see how it's going to play out because it's very high stakes.
Well, where we are right now is we've got all the characters coming together.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. And I will say that Bernhard Montague might not be the main baddie in this. He could be the Darth Vader to the evil emperor somewhere that has not shown his face yet.
I do know that movie.
Do you know that one? There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for talking about episode 9.
Of course. New Hope.
That's right.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
The force is strong in that one. I think one of the things that's really neat about Wind Calls the Heart is the spirit of the cast. I mean, they're friendly, they're friends, they go out socially. And I thought it was really great that Viv Leacock already had so many relationships. He had so many friendships. He's been an actor in Canada for a long time. And when he brought his family, he received a very warm welcome, of course. And just as Joseph Canfield brought his family to the friendliest place in Canada, Hope Valley, Tiffany's on the set talking to Vienna Leacock about what it's like working with the cast. Let's take a look.
Vienna, thanks for joining me to talk about episode 9.
Of course.
So the Canfields are really a beautiful addition to the town.
What
do you think that your family brings to the town?
I think we bring what we our morals and values are what the Canfields also believe in. I know my dad, Natasha, and my brother and I were very family oriented, and I do think the Canfields try to bring people together, and like my family at home, we're always trying to bring people together and just show love, and community is a big part of what we try to do.
Your dad and the character of Minnie, just watching their relationship is really beautiful. How has it been working with Natasha?
It's been wonderful. She's the best, honestly. We're really lucky to have an actual connection on set and off set. We all hang out. We've been friends forever, and I'm very thankful for that we have that connection.
Does it make it easier? I mean, because she's supposed to be your mom.
Yes, she is.
Right? So does it make it easier to play that role, to have that closeness?
Definitely, yeah. And Natasha and I, we're close on set and off set, and it makes playing the role of a daughter a lot easier, and having her as my mom a lot easier. There's not much acting. She is such a caring person.
So when you get a job on a TV show, lots of times they'll put things in the script that may or may not be in your skill set. How did you feel when you got this script for episode 9 and you had to sing?
I like singing. I'm not a professional, obviously, but I could do singing where it's in the car or in the shower, and that's pretty much it for me. We did get a singing coach on set that day, and I did practice a bunch of times before we went on, so I was feeling a bit more comfortable. But definitely in front of people, it's a different thing. You know, you're only comfortable in the car or like at home by yourself. So putting it on in front of the crew was nerve-wracking, but I felt safe within our space, so I was definitely able to do it.
Come back to Hope Valley, our wonderful home, where everyone's welcome and no one's alone.
Well, that was lovely.
We wrote it for Hope Valley, but we changed the lyrics for you.
With our tireless leader, we'll come out on top. We know with Mrs. Rosemary, we'll never be stopped.
Everyone's learning it.
So do you really play the banjo?
I was only, sorry to break it to you, but I was only miming it, and then they added the sound effects after. I wish I could play the banjo, but...
It looked convincing.
Thanks, I tried.
Yeah. Does someone come and say, okay, move your fingers in this position to make it seem like you're actually...
Yeah, we had a coach for the banjo specifically to make sure that we had the right position and the right finger placement and just making it look as real as possible. And it was very helpful. Without the coaching, I don't think it would have been through correctly, but yeah. We had coaching.
Do you have something in your ear? Like, are you hearing any kind of music? Because you're not actually playing the banjo, so are you hearing banjo music while you're singing it, or do you just have to remember the tune?
I think there was a soundtrack playing at the same time. Jada and I were singing on top of it, so I was strumming, but it was off key, so I would try and do my best to like hit the chord.
Yeah.
But obviously they went over it with the correct sound.
Is this something you want to keep doing? Do you want to keep acting, or is there something else you'd like to do?
I definitely hope so. I do have a lot of other interests. I like being creative and just working with my hands. But I do think that this is my happy place, and I'd also like to branch off into other directions in film and hopefully pursue this as my career going forward.
When you came on set, and now that you've been working on the set, like because you hadn't been on camera before, what's been the most surprising thing that you've learned about production, or just being on camera, or maybe even like a great experience that you've had, you know, working on the show?
I still do. I have a lot of stage fright, and during school it would be pretty hard to present in front of people, but coming onto set, I thought that would also carry onto camera. Maybe it does, you'll probably see my nerves, but when the camera's on and when we're in front of the crew, I usually don't get as nervous. I mean, like one-on-one interviews, yes, but when it's like, okay, get on your marks and camera's rolling and all that, I just go somewhere else and I kind of turn that off. Somehow I can't turn that off in school, but I can do that on set. And I kind of noticed that about myself, where I become a different person and then I can jump back into who I am when the cameras are off.
Has anybody recognized you, like at school? Have they said, hey, you're on that show?
Yeah, I grew up with my elementary friends, and we went over to high school, and they still know that I act, but also in a different form. And some people have seen me in other things and like, oh, I saw you the other day on that thing. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Like, that was so long ago. But yeah, I do get recognized sometimes.
Yeah, that's gotta be fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah. Well, we love seeing you on the show. Thank you for recapping episode 9 with me.
Of course.
And we look forward to watching the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You know, we can all remember when Mei Su came to town, riding in this shroud of mystery on her horse, and now she's found these great relationships with the women of Hope Valley. And in the same way, Amanda Wong, just incredibly warm person, she's found some great relationships with the women that play these characters. Let's take a look.
On this season, you've gotten to work with Faith and Fiona quite a bit. How has it been working with them?
Oh, I mean, wonderful. It's a dream. Those two are great, and they're my real life friends as well. And I think that the opportunity to work together really solidified our friendship off camera as well. And it's so funny. I was talking to Kayla, and even when we were filming last year, because we spent so much time together, our action started to sync up a lot. So even when it came to episode 3, when we're like wiping Rosemary's feet, we did the same motions, and then we had the same facial expressions, and then we're like, okay, we have to change a little bit because we look too in sync, and it's not on purpose. But we started doing everything kind of the same. And one of my favorite scenes that Kayla and I filmed was when we're surprising Rosemary, and we're doing that like sneak back into the cafe. That was one of my favorite scenes to film with her.
Was Pascal really walking? I mean, because you don't shoot things in sequence necessarily.
Yeah,
so was she walking while you guys were sneaking around the building?
Yeah, just so for the timing would work. But once we laid it out, then we're like, okay, she's about here at this point, and then we're running, and then we're like peeking, and then we're like making sure we look at the same spots, and then we're like, okay, go. So it was really, really fun. And it just let us do a little bit more of the comedic things and break up our like the tone a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
You were running, but you guys wear dresses and heels a little bit. So how was that?
Okay, so currently I have a real stretchy skirt, and I think also Kayla that day had had a wider A-line skirt. Some of our skirts are so tiny that we're doing these little itty bitty right. penguin runs. But thankfully that day we had ones that were a little stretchier, so we were real running. And there was a point where we're in the fields and we're like, let's actually just run as fast as we can. So we did it, and it was just like laughing the whole time. We're running, and then we're like making our facial expressions as we're going, and like go. And so after every take, we just burst out laughing, and then we do the slow walk back to the start, and we're like sweating and panting and things, but it was really fun.
Were you sore the next day?
Thankfully, no. I would have thought that I would be, especially with the heels and the calves, but it was good. I'm not in great shape, but that was an okay one.
So let's talk about your wardrobe a little bit, because the dresses and all that, but do you have a color palette? Because I know Barbara does color palettes for other actors, for other characters. Yeah, what's yours?
Mine, I think I'm wearing dark blue right now, which is a natural because I don't typically have a dark blue top, but I have this dark blue skirt, and I usually wear it with the white and blue. So white, I think, is in it, some of the navy blue, but it would be more in the accents. I'm also living in this kind of pastel pink and a little bit of purple region, and I have a little bit of green, but not a lot. I have that one kind of sailor-looking top with the green, and I have a green blazer set.
Do you get input into what your wardrobe might be? Like, you might say, these are really my colors.
Not really.
Okay.
I just trust Barbara completely, and she does it. Yeah. But also, I think because our clothes have to be cohesive with one another, so we kind of all live in a pastel world.
Yeah, that's true, right? Because people can't be wearing the same thing.
Yeah,
it's got to be. Yeah, she has to think through that. Well, she's so good at it.
Totally. And Rosemary's always in the reds and the maroons and things, and Elizabeth's also in the pastel pinks and light pinks and things like that. So we kind of have to all just fit in the world of Hope Valley.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the three of you working in the salon together.
Okay.
The new customer, I wanted to see how she likes it. So it's all natural, made with many local ingredients.
It's simply divine. Wherever did you come up with such an idea?
Well, May here was top of my class in pharmacology school. Mixing compounds is my specialty.
Truly fascinating.
I have to finish filling my prescription orders. I'll see you girls later in the cafe.
Okay.
Why do you think she was reluctant to tell the truth about the origin?
I think because Eastern kind of recipes and things at the time weren't so common or popular. I think there was a little apprehension to be, just too different from everyone else. I think also there's an identity conversation here slightly, where it's your roots and heritage is in Asia and Asian culture, but then maybe she feels a little bit displaced, where she's like, maybe not Asian enough or not North American enough. And I think there's a little bit of discomfort there, or like an apprehension to maybe the reactions of others if they found out that it's something that seems a little different from what they're used to, not wanting to shock or kind of just covering something that you don't know of how well it will be received.
How do you feel about the writers doing this storyline? When you read it, what did you think?
What's really nice about this is that we're telling the story of the discomfort and the feeling of displacement. And I think that that's a narrative that needs to be seen. And I think that by doing this, we're really highlighting the humanness of others. And I think that's the most wonderful thing.
Do you connect with May on a personal level?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a little bit of her experiences mirroring a little bit of mine, but there is also this newness, new to Hope Valley, and also new to the set that's been established for so long. So there are some mirrors, not directly, of course, but there are some mirrors. And I think that what's nice about season 9 is that I spent a lot of time with Kevin, who's just the most perfect person to spend time with and feel welcomed with, and also Andrea. And so the three of us, I had most of my scenes with the two of them. And I really got to know Kayla super well. And there's a scene where Kayla is like asking me how I'm feeling, and Kayla also did that in real life, just on a different occasion, not due to this. And our friendship really did spring from those two moments, and it's just been so lovely. And the feeling of wanting to be accepted is what May experienced, and then me coming to When Calls the Heart wanting to be accepted on the show as well was something that I experienced as well. But of course, with this cast, you feel welcomed like quite right away. But there were some similarities, not exactly the same, but there are some overlap.
Well, you talked about the two of May confiding in Fiona. We have a clip of that, so let's take a look. Yeah.
But the tourists. People like to hear that I've been practicing this knowledge since I was a little girl, but I'm still figuring it out.
It's okay not to have everything figured out. Sometimes you just have to focus on what you know.
I know that studying my grandmother's journals and using her recipes is the happiest I've been in a long time.
And please never apologize for who you are. Because I think who you are is pretty great.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Is that the scene you were talking about?
Yeah, that's the scene.
Okay, I thought maybe it was.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Do you talk about those scenes together before you get? You don't. You just let it happen organically and.
The writers do a really great job, so we just honor the words that they've written. That scene is so beautiful. I haven't seen it. Well, I haven't forgotten the sentiment, but I didn't remember all the words. And yeah, it also makes me feel super proud that this narrative is being shown and being communicated and done justice for.
So now that you've been on the show for a couple of seasons, do you feel like the writers are incorporating a little bit more of your personality into May?
Yeah, actually, I think that they're also giving me an opportunity to try things that I've never tried before. Like, for example, the comedy stuff. Because, May was originally very, serious and proper and straightforward and soft, outspoken, but soft-spoken. And then to be able to do those fun, quirky scenes has been, super, super fun for me as the actress. But yeah, and so I think also the mirror in this instance is that I similarly have been able to show more of my own colors to my coworkers. When in the beginning you're like, oh no, I'm cool and I'm normal. Right. And then later on you start doing the weird stuff and everyone's like, okay, we accept that. And you're like, you do? And so similarly, she's able, May is able to freak out or be quirky and weird and she's very much accepted. And so, I am also able to be weird and myself and be accepted by my coworkers.
Now, would you consider yourself an extrovert or an introvert?
I think intro extrovert. I think that I enjoy being social and being in big groups and things, but then I also enjoy a lot of alone time and reading and things like that. So I get a lot of my energy from others, but also I get that energy real quickly and then I recharge by myself.
So I know that you're quite the adventurer.
Yes.
You do a lot of traveling. I can't believe all the things you've done. We've talked before.
Yeah.
Let's see, skydiving.
Yep.
Horseback riding. Yep. Where were you at horseback riding? I can't remember the country.
Mongolia.
Yeah, Mongolia. Yeah. Scuba diving.
Yes.
Okay, so are we going to see some adventure from May on the show?
One of the first things that they asked me is like, tell us what you can do. We can write it down and let's see if we can incorporate all those things. And I was like, how do we feel about scuba diving? They're like, we can't really do that one, but but I was like, I want to jump out of a plane. They're like, also not one we can do. I was like, where do I want to go and what do I want to do? How can we like weave that into the storyline?
Or a new skill, right? Do you ever, as an actor, go, oh, this is what I want to learn. Let's have them write it into the show.
How about pottery classes for May?
That's a good one.
Right? Because we have clay now.
Yeah.
So actually, I never even suggested that, but now I will.
Yes, I like it.
Artisanal cups.
Yeah, right? I could see that. And then you can sell them in the pharmacy.
Exactly.
It could be like a side
Double
business.
dipping.
There you go. Well, thank you for sitting down with me to talk about the episode.
Thanks for
having
me.
And hopefully we'll have you on again.
I'd love that.
And that concludes our program. Thanks so much for tuning in to episode 9. We'll see you next time on the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show.